Meanwhile, the Tuscaloosa Police Department 911 administrative lines calls are now being routed to the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. Now, it's all due to a cut in the fiber optic cable on I-359. Both TPD and the Sheriff's Office have additional personnel on duty in the dispatch center to ensure no delays in response time to calls for service. AT&T anticipates to have the line repaired by midnight. Well, moving on to the weather. Could your weekend be spoiled by rainy weather? Let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast. For that, here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Richard?
Hey, John, good Friday evening to you. Things are pretty much in check across the area right now. No severe weather issues happening across central Alabama. We do note some shower storms happening across north Mississippi. These will likely drift in here later tonight as the cold front does arrive, but not expecting any organized risk of severe weather tonight as things are pretty calm across the area now. 83 in Tuscaloosa, 82 back in Birmingham. We've got 79 Anniston, 77 back in Auburn. Forecast for Saturday, some storms going to be possible. Rain chance about 50%, but temperature's going to be hot. In fact, around 90 by 4 o'clock. The heat index likely approaching those middle to upper 90s, but the risk of rain is there. Not an all-day type of ordeal. We're talking some scattered hit-or-miss storms going to be possible. What about the rest of the weekend? And we'll look at the 7-day planner. Your forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Richard. Bad news for the job market. Initial jobless claims rose sharply last week after falling to a 4-year low earlier this month. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says about 386,000 people have filed for first-time unemployment benefits in the week that ended on July 14th. That is up 34,000 from the previous weeks. The figure is considered an important gauge of the job market because it's correlated with layoffs. And Alabama's unemployment rate rose to 7.8% in June, an increase that state officials are calling seasonal. Tuscaloosa Fire and Rescue held a dedication ceremony today to place 3 new engines into service. Now, these engines were dedicated to Assistant Chief Fred Johnson, Captain Lawrence Peoples, and Captain Jimmy Green. The dedication ceremony is a long-standing tradition dating back to the early 1800s when fire trucks were drawn by horses. Now, the horses weren't able to back the apparatus, now known as the fire engine, into the garage, so the firefighters had to push it in to the station themselves. As you saw there, today Tuscaloosa firefighters had their very own push-in ceremony. Fire Chief Alan Martin says regardless of it being a tradition, it's also important to honor the memory of those who came before them.
Well, it's important to honor the memory of the people that came before us and worked so hard to establish this department and lay the foundation as to what it is today. And we don't want to forget that, and we want to thank them for that.
Engine 6, one of the engines dedicated today, is the only red fire truck in the Tuscaloosa fleet. It was loaned to the city to replace engine number 4 when it was damaged in the 2011 tornado, and the department later purchased it. A major announcement for the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. 2 more music legends are bringing their talents to the Druid City. Country music star Alan Jackson will be hitting the stage on Thursday, September 13th. Some of his biggest hits include Chattahoochee and Don't Rock the Jukebox. Tickets go on sale Friday, July 27th at noon. And Neil Young and Crazy Horse, along with special guest Alabama Shakes, will perform on October 25th. Some of Young's biggest hits include Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand. Tickets for his concert go on sale also Friday, July 27th. You can learn more about these acts and others over on WVUATV.com.